There's a silent killer stalking the real estate industry, and it's coming for hundreds of thousands of agents who don't even see it coming. It's true. A Redfin report confirmed that 71% of licensed agents didn't close a single deal last year. New agents with less than 2 years of experience are making a median income of just $8,100. And 15% of agents control nearly half of all the available housing inventory in America right now. But there's something even scarier going on. And what I'm talking about will be the reason that within the next decade, half of all real estate agents will be gone, vanished, their careers taken by this perfect storm that's been brewing for years. But here's what nobody's talking about, and that's the fact that agents who survive this mass extinction will make more money than the next 10 years than real estate agents have ever made in history. The question isn't whether this mass extinction is coming. No, it's already here. The only question that matters now is, will you be among the survivors who thrive in this new reality, or the victims who are left behind? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact warning signs that your real estate career is in danger, and the critical moves that will separate the agents who thrive in this new reality from those who don't even make it to 2030. But first, you need to know just how we got here. To really understand the real estate agent extinction event that's unfolding right before our very eyes, we need to go back to the beginning. The seeds of our current crisis were planted long ago in the mid-2000s. It wasn't simply an influx of agents that created the housing bubble, but a dangerous combination of systematic failures, lax lending standards, allowed for people to qualify for loans they could never afford. Interest rates were at historic lows. Speculation ran rampant as investors snatched up properties expecting to flip them for quick profits. Take my own story. I got in real estate in 2002. I was 20 years old with huge dreams. By 23, I'd made over $1 million when the market exploded. The money seemed endless. Luxury cars, nice houses, living the high life you see today on social media before Instagram was even a thing. And I was that agent. But then, when the bubble burst, I lost everything. Bankruptcy, foreclosed on my own home. I ended up homeless, sleeping in a beat-up car that my friend gave me. The ultimate story of what happens when you believe the market only goes up. When the bubble finally burst in 2008, it sent shockwaves through the entire industry. Home prices plummeted, foreclosures skyrocketed, and real estate agents, their numbers collapsed. The National Association of Realtors saw membership plunge from a peak of about 1.35 million agents in 2006 to just 999,000 by 2012, a devastating 26% decline. Agents weren't just doing fewer deals either. They were making far less on each transaction as home values cratered. Ironically, though, for those who survived the crash, like I managed to do by getting back in the game in 2008, opportunity emerged from the ashes. Properties were selling for 50% discounts. Inventory was plentiful, and with fewer agents competing for those deals, those who stuck it out found they could rebuild their businesses with less competition. It was literally a dream market scenario. But slowly, as the market recovered in the mid-2010s, the number of agents started climbing as well. Not because the market needed more agents, but because people were looking for opportunity. And by 2019, the National Association of Realtors hit 1.4 million members. Then, March 2020 hit. We all know what happened then. COVID swept across the nation. Restaurants, retail stores, businesses shut their doors. People like Amy, a 53-year-old Minneapolis waitress with 30 years in the restaurant industry, suddenly found themselves unemployed. What happened next would create the perfect storm we're facing today. The government pumped trillions in stimulus into the economy, interest rates were slashed to nearly zero, and suddenly, everyone wanted to buy a home. By 2021, home sales had soared over 6 million transactions. Properties were selling in hours, not days. Prices skyrocketed by 45% in just a few years, and once again, real estate looked like the golden ticket. Social media got flooded with agents closing deals, cashing commission checks, and standing in front of sold signs. It looked so easy, so lucrative. And the gold rush began. From burnout healthcare workers to parents seeking flexible careers during their remote schooling to laid off sales executives, they all saw real estate as their salvation. The barrier to entry was low, so why not? In most states, it's just a single class and an exam. The numbers were staggering. More than 156,000 people flooded into the industry in 2020 and 2021. Nearly 60% more than the previous 2 years combined. By 2022, NAR membership had swelled to an all-time high of over 1.6 million agents. But here's where our story takes a turn. While the number of agents were exploding, something far more disturbing was happening to the housing market. The Fed began raising interest rates aggressively to combat inflation. Rates more than doubled, reaching levels not seen in decades. Inventory vanished. First-time home buyers were priced out of the market entirely. By 2024, we were witnessing the lowest level of home sales in nearly 3 decades. Let that sink in for a second. More agents than ever before, competing for fewer transactions than we've seen since the early 1990s. At that point, the economic equation became brutally simple. More agents dividing a shrinking pie. The predictable result? Thousands of agents making little to no income at all. But housing market shifts weren't our only problem. In 2019, a threat emerged that sent shockwaves through the entire industry, one that aimed to destroy the very foundation of how agents get paid. It was called Sitzer-Burnett. The class action lawsuit filed in Missouri by home sellers against NAR and major brokerages, claiming commission rates were artificially inflated. Agents everywhere wondered if their entire business model was about to collapse. Would commissions be slashed? Would buyers refuse to pay for representation? When the verdict came down in October of 23, the jury sided with the plaintiffs. By mid-2024, NAR agreed to a $418 million settlement. And overall, with all the other brokerages involved, the settlement was over $1 billion. The changes seemed massive. Offers of compensation could no longer be shared on MLS. Buyer agency agreements would be required. August 17th, 2024 was D-Day. The new rules would take effect. Agents braced for impact, many predicting the end of their careers. But then something unexpected happened. As the dust settled, a shocking truth emerged. According to an account tech study analyzing more than 224,000 transactions, buyer agent commissions by January 2025 averaged 2.55%, which was identical to the rates a year earlier, which was before the settlement. And listing commissions actually rose slightly. The commission apocalypse never came, and by being forced to articulate their value to clients, agents who survived were actually commanding slightly higher rates. The transparency that was supposed to drive commissions down had instead highlighted just how valuable professional representation truly is. While the attorneys collected their massive paydays, bought yachts, and moved on, real estate professionals adapted and evolved, proving once again the resilience of an industry that has weathered countless storms. So what's the good news in all this? Well, real estate agents will make more money at higher margins, that's right, more profitable, over the next decade than any other time in history for 3 reasons. The first reason, home sales. Right now, we're experiencing a 30-year low in home sales, but markets always rebound 110% of the time. And this time will not be any different, and it's not going to be just any rebound. It's going to be one for the record books. And that's due to the unprecedented pent-up demand from millions of first-time home buyers who have been sitting on the sidelines, saving money, building credit, and waiting for their shot. These aren't investors gambling on appreciation. These are families who need places to live. If you look at the birth rate spike starting in 1990, you start to realize the surge of 30-something-year-olds in the country right now. And that is exactly what the average age of our first-time home buyer is in America. Then we've got the sellers with golden handcuffs, homeowners locked into those sweet 2 to 3% interest rates who've been delaying their moves. They've been putting life on hold, postponing relocations, upsizing for growing families, downsizing for retirement. The size of this group of buyers is growing every single day. We can't even imagine how much pent-up demand there actually is. And as interest rates eventually moderate, this enormous backlog of buyers and sellers will flood the market simultaneously, creating transaction volume like we've never seen that will sustain for years. The second reason why agents will make more money than ever before over the next decade is technology and AI, continuing to help agents sell more properties in less time through efficiency. Just last year, there was an AI-powered real estate agent in Portugal who sold over 100 million worth of property. That might sound scary, but it's actually exciting because the reality is that AI won't replace agents. It'll just replace the agents who don't use it. Today's tech-savvy agent can manage more transactions simultaneously while providing even better service. These efficiency gains let agents focus on what truly matters: building relationships, negotiating deals, which allows them to scale their business much faster. And the third reason why agents will make more money over the next decade is this fact here: commission rates aren't coming down anytime soon. Remember that commission data we just looked at? After all the lawsuits and settlements, commission rates haven't even budged. They've actually increased slightly. Why? Because when consumers actually see what's going into a transaction, they realize the value agents bring. And here's the real reason commissions aren't going down: they can't. Agents work on average 87.5 hours per deal. When you subtract their broker fees, marketing, gas, insurance, taxes, and everything else agents have to pay out of pocket and divide what's left by 87.5 hours, most agents end up working for just over a minimum wage job. So how is being a real estate agent so lucrative? And why does the general public think that they're so overpaid? Well, first off, it's not lucrative for the 71% who didn't sell a single house last year, but for the producers, they have developed the skill of being able to handle many deals at one time, simplifying the process of the deal to the point that they can scale their business. This is why an agent's ability to juggle multiple deals at one time will dictate their ability to build wealth in this profession. If an agent does one deal at a time, it's not too far off from working a regular 9-to-5 job. The point is, commission rates aren't coming down anytime soon as consumers get way more service than they're paying for. Otherwise, they wouldn't pay for it. And the agent can't afford to do any less, and the last 12 months have proved my point quite well. So think about this. If agents can do more deals in less time with the same commission rates, all of a sudden they become more profitable. And as home sales rebound over the next few years, leaving more deals on the table, you can't help but to realize that real estate agents are about to make more money than ever before in history. For the agents who embrace these changes, who adapt to the technology, who position themselves for the coming surge in transactions, the financial rewards will be staggering. For those who don't, the already grim statistics will only get worse. And that's the critical point here, and the reason why only half of today's agents will participate in this golden age. As efficiency-minded agents adapt to technology to close more deals in less time, agents who aren't as quick to act on this technology and articulate their value in the new landscape will get left behind, watching as the innovative agents claim more and more of the available business. The gap between top producing agents and the rest will widen dramatically. The question is no longer whether being a real estate agent will be profitable. For those who make the right moves, it'll be more profitable than ever before. The real question is, will you be a part of that future?